My name is Sam Zellner. I'm the PQI team lead leading this effort. And I want to say that I really appreciate this opportunity to participate in the GIFT program. This is a great conference, a lot of really good speakers, very impressive speaker, this last one here on her game system. That was really impressive. So I'm going to be talking to you about how PQAI is going to change innovation, as Jake said. So let's go to the next slide here. So just as background, I've been involved with innovation for many years. I've inventor on a number of patents, and also worked with hundreds of inventors as part of the innovation program to a large corporation. And so we saw the need for something better because we just saw that innovation was too hard. So we established PQAI, patent quality through artificial intelligence. And this is an open source nonprofit initiative. We're going to create a library of software components that can be used specifically for innovation and intellectual property data analysis, because we have a lot of data. A lot of people don't realize a lot of data in patents. So we're going to make these tools available to everybody. We have the support of a number of different companies, universities, and industry organizations. And our vision is that these will help the patent process by making it more transparent because they're open source, by enabling and empowering inventors to make them invent more efficiently. And then by doing that, accelerate the pace of innovation, and in the process also improve the quality of patents and the innovations that come out. And we have a website that's been up since last November. We'll go to it a little bit later in the presentation. So one of the things that's important is when you think about being an inventor, and I'm assuming a lot of you out there are thinking about being an inventor, which is great. There's a couple of key components that I've seen that you need to have. One is knowledge. Of course, it just helps. The more education you have, the more you can understand about new technologies, about how things can be put together. So it's just really important that you stay in school and you learn as much as you can. Also, another component that a lot of people don't realize is life experiences. It's so important to get exposure to lots of different cultures, lots of different countries, and see how people are doing it, because living and doing things, because there are a lot of different ways people do things, and what happens is you realize there's assumptions you're making without even knowing that on how you're doing things. And when you go to different cultures and you see different people and how they do it, you realize, oh, there's different ways to do these things. So that's real important. And then the final piece is innovation. Innovation is a skill that you need to develop. And it's really important. I mean, we heard the last speaker talk about frugal innovation. There's lots of different techniques. And I just want to emphasize that it's a lot of trial and error. You come up with ideas and you see what didn't work about them, and you learn from that. And the next time you come up with an idea, you're not going to make that mistake. So don't get discouraged if you're trying to be an inventor and you try some things that don't work out. It's okay. I've had a lot of challenges. You'll have a lot of challenges, but it's okay. You just keep on pressing forward, and you'll be a great inventor. I'm confident. So let's look at one of the things that makes it hard to be an inventor. So a lot of you come up with ideas and you wonder, is this a new idea, whatever it might be? And you might ask a friend, you might ask your parent, you might ask your teacher, something like that, and they might say, I don't know. But the reality is you're competing, when you're coming up with ideas, you're competing with everybody in the whole world. So that's a very competitive marketplace there. And so you really need to use, a search engine to search, just look through all the documents to see, has anybody thought about your idea? Currently, some of you might use the patent office, the search engine of the patent office. That's using a Boolean search engine. In other words, you got to come up with keywords to look at your idea. So whatever it is, you come up with a couple of keywords and you do a search. The problem with that is, say you're doing something in wireless. Well, wireless might mean cellular, like your cell phone, but wireless could mean Wi-Fi, or it could mean Bluetooth. There's lots of different ways to refer to wireless. And to be an effective search, you'd have to put in all those different words to make sure you've covered everything. That's not easy, and it's very difficult. And then you can see in this case, we're searching on a dog collar. We come up with 51 different documents, and you got to figure out, look at each of those documents, figure out what's relevant. That's really hard, and we thought it was too hard. So we said, let's see if there's a better way to do this. So what we've used is, no surprise, we use artificial intelligence. It's a fancy word that says we have the ability with software to make the software think and learn sort of like you. Not as good, but very close. And so what we've done is we've taken AI and we've trained it. It's looked at millions of patents and research papers, and it starts learning, oh, wireless can mean Bluetooth, wireless can mean cellular, and it learns those relationships. So it has all of that information, which allows you now to write in your idea into the search engine like you would explain it to your teacher or to your friend or your parent. This allows it to make it much easier for anybody to do a search. You don't have to worry about the right words. And then what we've done is when you see the results, we've made it easier for you to interpret the results. You don't have to go searching the documents. The other piece we have here, for those people who haven't ever filed a patent, it turns out the patent office has two ways to look at your idea in terms of originality. One is to look at it to say, is there one document that has your entire idea? That's one type. That's called anticipated rejection. That's a 102. And then there's also the combinational. So if the patent examiner can't find your idea in one document, but can find one document that has part of your idea and another document has another part, they might say that it was obvious to put these two ideas together. For example, if you had an idea of putting a cell phone with a camera back in the day, they might say, well, cameras existed, cell phones existed. It would have been obvious to put them together. And so they wouldn't give you a patent on it. So our search engine can do both those types of searches. So you can be more confident that your idea is original. Like I said, we have other open source components in this library that can be utilized for other applications. And again, we're talking about transparency and privacy so that your ideas are just yours. So let's look at the system, and we're going to switch here. Let me switch windows quickly here so you can see what it looks like. I'll share a new window. Go here. And okay, so this is the, wait, I'm sorry, I didn't get it right here. Sorry.
Looks like the same window.
It was the same window. I apologize there. Just testing you. All right, let's try it now. There we go. Okay, so I've put in a sentence. Like I said, you can put any sentence you want in. It's just describing your idea. I suggest when you're inventing, especially a new inventor, pick something you're passionate about, something you have familiarity with. In my case, I picked my dog. And I always sort of wondered, what is my dog doing all day when I'm off at work or out of the house? So I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have a dog collar that could track the movement of my dog throughout the house, and so I know what my dog is doing. So all you have to do is press search here, and the system will search now for documents. In this case, what it's doing is it's looking through 22 million documents. We put in the whole patent, all the patents in the US Patent Office and all the patent applications, plus we have research papers out there. And what you'll see is we pull just 10 documents because we want to keep it simple for you. And in this case, you can see this is a patent, and somebody put a patent in on geopositioning, tracking, and control queue capability. So they had the same idea about what I had about doing a dog collar, although they had it before me. So obviously I can't patent this idea because somebody else already had it. And they even went a little farther. They went with queuing capability to motivate the dog, maybe keep the dog off the couch or something like that. So this is how you can use this to test your idea to see if it's original. You also can learn from it. So even if it's not original, now I can learn and say, oh, wow, I could have thought about training the dog maybe. I can do other things with the dog collar. This one is interactive, so you can talk to the dog. We also provide you can see over here, there's a graph that shows you the filing trend. So you can see people back in 1990 were already thinking about these intelligent collars. So it goes back a long way. See, again, you're competing with everybody. Also, we show you what we call assignees. These are the companies that were involved in this, having ideas similar to my idea. So in case you're wondering what companies are involved, this provides you. And you can see some individual inventors were involved too. So this is useful information as you're trying to invent. Now, again, don't take this as like you failed. That's okay. You might want to go with another idea. For example, and then I cheated here, make it a little bit easier. But I said, well, what about if the dog collar not only monitored the movement, but even looked at the health of the dog? Maybe it could take its heartbeat. Maybe it could do other things like that. Well, you can run that now and see that. So you can see here, I've run that, a system monitoring an animal. And in this case, it's about a dog collar here. And it's locating the dog and all, but it doesn't have my health aspect. So maybe my idea is new. Let's look at some others. Here's a geopositioning, the one we saw before. That didn't have anything about health. Up, look at this one, tracking the health. Now again, looks like somebody's now come up and they actually had an idea incorporating control the behavior and the health. So maybe I'd have to look at this more closely to see if it's similar to my idea or not, but it's important to know that. So I just want to show you that this is a free search engine. We have capabilities in which you can track the timeline of your idea so you can see what you've done over time. We have a discussion group, a forum, so you can talk about it with other people if you have questions. So this is free, it's available to you. I encourage you to go to it and try it out. And let me just quickly switch here back to my presentation and just say thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. This is exciting. If you have questions or want to talk to me further about it, my email's right there, sam@projectpq.ai. Thank you very much.
Sam, I have a quick question. I don't want to be too cynical, but how are you affording this? How are you giving this away for free?
Well, this is where we've had some corporations involved with us so that we can get the software developed. We plus have volunteers helping us to create this. So it's a sort of a joint effort here.
And if I put in an idea for the newest iteration of a widget, that'll stay secret. No one's going to.
We keep everything, all your ideas on your computer, so it's completely secret and private. We don't track anything about what you do and any concepts you have, because we know that's very important for inventors.
Great.
This is
even young inventors concerned about that.
Yeah, this is really, really helpful and will really help a lot of folks. I commend you.
We hope so. We hope so. And by the way, I should mention we're going to have a report. We're working on it all the time. We should have a report out pretty soon so that when you do your run, if you think it's good, you can create a report on it. And again, if you're thinking you have a novel idea, we would encourage you to, if you're looking at patenting it, to use a professional patent attorney because it's a complex process. So it's just very good to have. But we believe the report will make it much easier for the patent attorney to help you.
Great. Very good. Very good. Thank you, Sam. Thank you very, very much.
Okay? Thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate
wonderful.
it.
Great job. Thank you so much.
Take care, everyone.
Okay.